Welcome to the channel. I am Ladewaybac, and today I'm going to be going over what I've learned and how to win with Inquisitor. I'll be showing you some things to do in neutral, the combo that was in the beginning, and some interesting setups. First up, let's go over our normals. Now our normal buttons, we have our A here, which is it reaches fairly far and you can hit it twice for a 2-hitter. And then we have our 2A, which is a low. Now be aware that both of these are 9-frame startups, which is slower compared to a lot of the cast, so just keep that in mind there. But they do have a good range to them. Now our crouching S is our low, has a really long distance to it. Cancel into the S here. And we have our standing S, which I like to use as an anti-air. It's just quick, so if we have a opponent jumping at us and we know if we see them jumping, you know, especially with Striker here, you know she likes to do her dive kick, so you can just knock her right out of the sky, right? And that'll set us up for a combo. You know, so that's a good it's a good anti-air. That's what I tend to use it for. You can also use 2S as an anti-air, but there's a combo you can do off of that. But I find the startup a little slow, so I don't really go for that. Although it does cover a pretty large distance, so if you got a jumper, I say that's the best time to be throwing it out. Like a good opponent to use that against would be like the ninja Kunoichi. And then we have our standing slash. Not our standing slash, but our standing S. Sorry, I play a lot of Guilty Gear. Standing S, which will be our combo ender. So when we're chaining things together, we want to essentially look for that. And after we hit that, that's when we go for our 6S. Going more into our command normals, I want to talk about the 4S. That's our flask right here. It's a nice little retreating attack. So we have a striker here. So you know strikers like to do their slide, their dive kicks, or they go in with the slide here. So if they're trying to do that, we just throw out a flask and they'll just land right into it. So if we know our opponent's gonna be on the attack, and we can just do a retreating attack and just have them coat themselves in oil. Now the cool thing about the oil is whenever we hit them with our MS attacks, we get plus 50 right up there. And combo damage, next to the combo damage, you'll see plus 50. So that's the burning damage that they get. So every time you hit them with the flask and use your magic attacks, it always does 50 damage on there. So it also changes the properties of how the attack goes. See how she pops up earlier there, and with the wheel specifically, when you hit the wheel while they're standing, they'll just be standing there. They'll be grounded the whole time, right? But if they're coated in oil, they'll be all up here, all the way up here. Now, an interesting thing that you can do with the flask, when you use this one right here, and they just pop up, you'd think, yeah, you'd think that you're losing a lot of damage because they just pop up. But if you do happen to land that, you can combo that. Yeah, I'll do it right this time. Yeah, a whole combo. So you see, instead of 50 plus 50 damage, it's plus 100 damage from the burning because you use the flask twice within the combo. Next up, R6S. Now we kind of live and die by this button right here because you will find that there's a lot of opponents that you're gonna have a hard time getting in on. So this will be our best gap closer there, but it is highly unsafe on block, to the point where, here, I'll just show you here. So we'll put her guard up. That is Striker's B. It's not even her light attack, that's her B. So she can practically just hit you with anything she wants. So basically, if this gets blocked, you are getting comboed. You are getting a full combo, and you already know how the combos in this game go. Like, they can take like half your health. So if this gets blocked, expect to lose a lot of health after that. So when you do plan on using it, you're gonna want to have a good read on your opponent. like know his jump times, because it'll catch somebody in the middle if they're jumping early, right? So know when they're gonna jump, know around the time they're gonna use an attack. You know, you're just gonna have to have a good read on your opponent, or else you're, you know, because you don't want to get punished, but you do want to land this because you get good damage out of it. Not only do you close the gap, but you're getting a whole combo off of it. So don't be scared to throw it out, but at the same time, just be careful when you do. And also this is a side switch, but as you know, in this game we have a guard button, so it will automatically block side switches for us. So I wouldn't rely too heavily on that. So if you do 2 attacks, it's kind of hard to go for the side switch, at least not an immediate one. If you do 1 attack, it will happen immediately. So if you're doing like 2, harder to do. So it depends on like how, like your distance from your opponent. But if you're like right on them, then you can do a nice little side switch there. But like, if your opponent might get used to that, or it might already be looking out for it, because by now most people know that Inquisitor can do this. So just be wary of that. But I say the best time to go for it, if you think your opponent's not going to block the side switch, is after the DP. Because after they wake up, you can just do that. So if they're not doing a DP themselves, it could cross them if they're not hitting the guard button. And if there's anything you want to use your MP conversion on, it's your 6S. Because it's not safe on block, so we can just cancel it and then just attack afterwards, or we could just block, or you know, whatever you really want to do there. Because you know it's very unsafe on block. I've said that already. So cancel it, make yourself safe. And lastly, with the 6S, is you don't have to cancel it into the attack. You can just use it as a regular dash attack. So we can do it between block strings and continue your block string after that. I tend to do that a lot, but obviously you can get punished in the middle of that, because they can be spamming DP, or they can just be ready to punish that. So if they are going to attack you during that, you can just end up throwing it out and getting the hit. So you know, it's kind of mind games out of there. So you never really know how that's gonna go. But I tend to like to dash up and go for more attacks. Or what you can do is you can dash up and just go for a grab. Alright, next let's go over our magic attacks. Now our standing MS, we just throw out this little firebomb there that hits for 5 attacks. Well, hits 5 times. Has a fairly decent range to it. I find when I have a hard time getting close to my opponent, that it's nice to just kind of throw that out just to lock them down. And when you do lock them down, it's an easy grab opportunity. I get this grab all the time. It is very easy to do, because by the time you get there, even if they're getting hit by it, they're just ready to grab. And I've had a lot of opponents try to do a conversion, a guard cancel off of that, but they end up doing a conversion and I end up hitting them anyways. So that's usually how that goes, because you're going to know the timing better than your opponent does. So it's a very easy grab. And also if it hits, you already know, it's combo time. You just do the dash up attack like that, and you get your full combo. So you see that hit, dash up and attack every time. And maybe it doesn't land on them, right? And it's just like right in front of them, you just jump and do your attack. Because you can do this from all the way, like it's full screen, just that'll connect. So you just do a run up, and then you just kind of just dash up and then jump attack and do that. So I find that like if it's not hitting my opponent, I can always at least make contact with them. And before I move on to the next magic attack, one thing I like to do with Inquisitor is I like to like delay my attacks. So we have a striker here doing a punch afterwards. So delay him a little bit so we can go for counter hits. You know, space it out right so we can catch them with counter hits. And if they start getting onto this, a lot of times they'll start rolling. And if not, or maybe doing a DP. And it's best if they're doing a DP, because if they're trying to do a DP between your attacks, what you can do is just throw out a firebomb. And then you have yourself a combo. Next we have our 6M, which is this move right here. It's pretty safe on block, and she also moves backwards, so it's really hard to punish that. I like to use it after going for the dive. If I see it's blocked, I can use it right afterwards. And if they hit a button, you'll get a counter hit, so I have her doing the punch. So counter hit right afterwards. And it is very good for corner combos, as you just do it over and over again. Then the same finisher for mad damage, and then we get the same setups as we get with our other combo. Next we have our DP. What I like about it is it goes into a cutscene, so if any kind of outside elements are coming at you like a launcher rocket, it's not gonna hit no matter what. Also, I showed you before the setup you can do off of that. You can go for the side switch. You can go for a grab, because you're pretty plus on here, right? And you also just go for an attack and go for your combos afterwards. So it's good that it keeps it close to you, because you can basically do whatever you want to your opponent afterwards. They're in a very bad spot here, because you have the upper hand, and you can just attack, grab, or side switch, or just bait out their DP and then get a full combo off of that. And lastly, for our magic moves, our MS, we have our Burning Wheel, which is probably why you want to use Inquisitor, or what interests it makes her very interesting. You know, it obviously locks your opponent down fairly heavily. So you have 3 mix-up opportunities here, right? You go 1, 2, 3. You can even like do an empty jump and go low, go for a couple of side switches, or you can like go for 2. Last one, make an empty jump and just grab. Or you don't even have to. You don't even have to just do an empty jump. You can just wait for it to finish, because you can grab fairly early after the burning wheel ends. So since you're gonna know when it ends better than your opponent, you can know when to grab. But be aware, they could be spamming DP, and if they're the person who's gonna be spamming that button, just prepare for it, and then you'll just get a combo afterwards if they are mashing the DP button. Now, a good thing you should do is you can use it to end your block strings. Because if you knock them further out and they try to, because they could roll while you're doing the wheel, and if they roll while they're further away from you, then they'll just end up rolling into the wheel, and then you just combo them anyways. Now, what I suggest that you do is get a nice little combo, a nice little block string to go along with your burning wheel. So you throw it on them, something like that. Because look how much of the guard gauge I depleted just doing the one wheel, right? Like, of course they could guard cancel, but like, have your own little thing that you like to do. See, that was a side switch right there, because she slightly went out of the wheel, and then when I did the dash, she was back into the wheel. So that was like a side switch too. So she let go of block thinking that she was safe. She would have got hit by that. So always have your little block string to go along with your burning wheel. I wouldn't dash immediately, but get some hits in. I like to dash out and then just go again, you know? Just make sure you find a way to correlate when the wheel is gonna end, so you can maintain your block string. So you can just keep going. Now here's something cool you can do. As you just saw there, I actually learned this while making this guide. You could just push him out of the wheel, just go for a grab, right? And then I thought, hey, why not throw them back into the wheel and then do your thing? You got to get the timing down right though, because like the wheel only lasts for so long, and it kind of goes faster as your opponent is out of the wheel. So when you push them out, you got to have enough time to be able to get your dash. See, the time is kind of iffy, so you can get that down though. You can get it down, and then when you combo your opponent afterwards, and it's a pretty cool setup. So push him out of the wheel, go for the grab, or throw them back into the wheel with the grab. And one last thing I do want to say about the burning wheel is you want to watch out for guard cancels, right? Because this happens a lot. So this is what a guard cancel is. It's that right there. So it uses 100 MP. So you try to knock your opponent away using your MP. And I find that when I'm using Inquisitor, a lot of opponents, most of them are actually going for that when I'm putting on the wheel. So you want to create this situation where you end up blocking their guard cancel. So one way to do it is if you can just run up to your opponent and just start blocking, obviously, or you can just do an empty jump and then block afterwards. But a lot of good opponents are gonna, like, soon as they see your feet take off from the ground, they're gonna guard cancel. So just try to find a way to block. Just try to bait the guard cancel, because if you are able to bait the guard cancel, you can get a full combo off of that. Next up, we have our jumping attacks. So we have our jump A, jump B, and jump S. Now jump A, we can just connect all those together. Like, we could jump the A, B, and S, we can connect all together into the combo. But see, it always kind of messes up for me there, because sometimes she'll turn around, or sometimes the swing won't come out. So what I find the safer option to do is just go for one or the other. So A is obviously faster, then you have B, and then you just connect those together. And when you connect, just go for your dash there, and just do your regular combo. And there you go. So just one or the other. And for B, it's most useful for a side switch. So you can cross your opponent like this. So if you want to go for air to airs, I would go for A into the S. And for a side switch, we want to use B. Let me get out of this corner. And now my favorite one is S, because this goes insanely long. Just look at that range. You can jump from one side of the screen all the way to the other. Well, not jump there, but hit from, I'm all the way back here, just do a running jump, and I can hit that. And the most beautiful thing about this button is you can follow it up with a dash and get a full combo after that. And our jumping MS is it's basically our combo ender. It's basically our combo ender. That's what it does. And you can always scoop your opponent up with your standing B afterwards, and just to kind of just do whatever after that. So always keep that in mind. When this lands, you always have the opportunity to scoop them up the ground with that. And if you do so choose, you can always just use your jumping M as a neutral attack. Just kind of run and just do it. So I say that's good if you got an opponent who's like really jumpy, and when those people who, when you get close to them, like at a certain distance, they'll just start jumping. So you just kind of throw that out there, scoop them off the ground, and proceed to combo. And lastly, I want to talk about the 2S, the jumping 2S. Now, I'm not sure if I said this already, but if they block that, you can throw this out for a counter hit. So if they're trying to attack you afterwards, so we have her doing the jab there, you'll get a counter hit. And also, you just throw out the firebomb. So if you think they're gonna try DP you or something, just throw out the firebomb. And then, as you already know, I'll show you again, you can just get a combo off of that. And lastly, I'm gonna take off this block. It doesn't have to be direct contact with this move, as it kind of makes a little earthquake at the bottom, so you can hit from afar. And whenever I'm hitting from afar, I just always throw out the wheel, because it's not really I doubt they're gonna be able to punish me from this far. Although there's probably some characters who can. Well, there's definitely some characters who can. But I just find it better to throw out the wheel and just proceed the combo afterwards. And even if they block it, then you just get a nice little block string started. Now, in this game, you can be very expressive with your combos, man. You don't have to do the same kind of combo as everybody else. There's just so many routes you can go and just kind of make your own thing. But I found this to be the most effective combo. As you've seen me do it already, like multiple times, even at the beginning of the video. I'm just trying to get this into a jump, into that. So our dashing slash into our jumping 2 slash. Not slash, but S. Sorry, Guilty Gear brain. Now I'm sure you've seen the combo a million times already. You see me kind of do it off of everything, but that's because it kind of works with everything. So every time you hit something, you just want to go for the 6S. And after the 6S, we do the jumping 2S, right? So we cancel that, the jumping 2S. And every time we hit that, even if we hit that raw, we throw out the wheel. Now, the thing with the wheel is you just do certain attacks that will line up with when the burning wheel ends. So that would be a jumping S into the 2S. That's how we crunch down there. And as soon as we land, we do the 4S, because that will land as soon as the burning wheel ends, which is what pops them up. Because as I said before with the 4S, when they're on fire, it will pop them up. Oh, let me do that right. I'll start from the beginning. So 2S, that'll pop them up right on time. Then we dash again, jump slash, then do the special, and then when we land that special, we just kind of go for whatever we want. Because remember, this pops them up every time, right? Because it's a hard knockdown. So what I usually go for is I can grease up the opponent. That'll definitely hit. So they're already greased up when after I finish the combo, or I can attack into this right here, into our 5 MS. So because when you land that, it's easy to just go for a grab afterwards. So that's usually how I end my combos. So I'll just I'll just show you again. So always gives you that pop up, and there you can even go for a wheel if you wanted. I prefer to use the firebomb, but you could go for a wheel, or you could grease them up, or you could just I'll show you something different you can do. Oh no, he was on fire. That'll change things up. So you can attack, throw the grease, and that'll hit as they get up, and then you just kind of go for a grab after that. And yeah, that's usually what I go for. But there's some things that will differentiate the combo, which I'll get into now. So you're gonna want to change the combo if you depending on how many hits you get in. So the golden number, so you can actually do the combo if you're starting with standing hits. Well, let me make it simpler. You know you could absolutely do this combo if you started off like this and get the dash, or you just do the dash by itself. Then you know you absolutely get that combo right. Or if you get 3 hits before the dash, so right that dash, as long as that dash is your 4th hit, then you can still do the combo, right? So no matter what kind of way you do it, let me show you this one. So as long as the dash is the 4th hit, you still do the combo. It'll work every time. Now let's say I do 4 hits though, and the dash is the 5th hit. And that they're gonna flip out there. So what we do instead, if we're doing more hits, is you just jump and do the magic attack. So we just take out the slash and we just do the magic attack instead. Now it's the same thing with light attacks. The number of hits doesn't matter with the light attacks. So you see that's 3 right there. It doesn't matter because it started with a light, though it'll still be able to flip out. So we're just gonna do it the same way, is do our jumping magic attack to end it instead. So let's say we start off our combo with a light and we get a bunch of hits in, right? That means they're going to be caught in the wheel, but they're going to be able to flip out during the wheel, but they'll still have to block the wheel after they flip out of it. So I'll show you what I mean here. See, they flipped out, but they're still blocking, right? So what I like to do with this, when I know I'm starting like that, when I'm going for a low and then just getting multiple hits, and I know that's how the combo's already going, I just prepare for it. Sweep, jump in, they're gonna flip out, and just get a grab right afterwards. So obviously it's good to know the timing of it. Because we know they're flipping out. And it's an easy grab afterwards. Because we know our timing better than they'll know the timing. So that's usually when you go for it. Like obviously people are going to get better at the game. Or people are going to be mashing DP. So you just, just work around it. If you know a DP is coming, you just prepare for it. And even in the corner. Now I won't do all of that. And we know they're flipping out. We can keep doing the same combo, and they'll be in a better grab range. So we can even do the 4S there and still go in for a grab. And if that does hit the opponent and they pop up, then we can just do a whole nother combo after that. If they choose not to block after they flip out of the wheel. So let's say you have a lot of MP and you don't have your awakening anymore, or maybe you wasted your special, or you don't have it, or you just want to finish the combo without using it, then here's a nice alternative. And lastly, there's something I forgot to mention mid-video when I was talking about the burn damage from the grease. If you do the DP, not only does it send them flying, but instead of plus 50 damage, it does plus 70 damage. Now here's a combo you can do from there. And it's not going to be too hard because when you grease them up and then maybe they'll just keep playing normally, maybe they'll play a little safe, but if they come at you and you catch them with a DP, man, that's a full combo. So check it out. Plus setup, easy grab, easy life. And that is my guide to Inquisitor, man. Very cool character, lots of lockdown, lots of power. Only downside is she does have pretty low health, but other than that, man, she's amazing, man. She got me to Terra Knight. I love this character. And let me know in the comments if this video has helped you in any way. And also, if you have some tech that I may have missed or anything that I could have missed with her that you know of, let me also know. Also, let me know in the comments, man, because that'll help me. That'll help everybody. And yeah, this is what we do around here. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for daily fighting game content. Thank you for watching.